How to create a tangled background in Photoshop. Now I'm using Photoshop CC 2019, but you could use 2018, 2017, etc. I'm going to mainly use mezzotint, crystallize, filter gallery with stamp, oil paint and levels to produce this sort of tangled design. Also I'm going to produce a number of variations such as colour, actions, thresholds, find edges. So now I'm just going to clear this down now. Edit and fill it with white. Now go to your filter menu and Pixelate and mezzotint. Now this produces some very, very fine lines. I'm using medium lines. Now, as with many of these, you can apply it multiple times. So just apply it multiple times and it will just accumulate. So click OK. Right, now you've got that. Again, apply it again, filter mezzotint, 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 and you can apply it 10, 15 times, up to you. I'm going to apply it 6 or 7 times. Right, once you're happy with that, and you've filled the document with lots and lots of lines, what you can do, you can just quickly go over to Filter and down to Pixelate and Crystallize. And you see you've got these nice little cells, and I'm going to go with 10 for the cell size. Just so you can see mainly white, but some black there. Okay, once you're happy with that, go to Filter and Filter Gallery. Set the light dark balance to about 49. If you go 50, it becomes sort of not particularly great. So just go down, you see it sort of, so I think 49 is about the nicest. 49, and smoothness, just set that to 1. Click OK. Now go to Filter and Oil Paint, because what I want to do is create a sort of smeary, sort of swirly design, and oil paint's great for that, and that's in Stylize. Now set the stylization cleanliness to quite high values. Click OK once you're happy with that. Now you could save that, of course, to your CC library. You could add that as well as that one, and so on and so on. So they create some really nice tangled designs, and you can continue to apply your oil paint, but I'm going to go over now to Image, Adjustments and Levels, and I'm going to move those to the left. So I'm just going to move those ones, and once you've done that, click OK, and you can see now the design there, much nicer tangled design. Of course, what you can also do, you can apply a selection to that, and then just copy it, then paste, and then just drag that across. And also what you can do is hold down the Alt Option key and duplicate those, so you can produce multiple copies, or maybe resize them, and you can combine them to make all kinds of unusual, unique designs there. Right, I'm just going to go back to New. And again, Filter, Pixelate and mezzotint. Apply it once, twice, 3 times. Then go to Crystallize, and this is just to show if you don't apply too many mezzotints, you just get a very sparse design. So Filter Gallery, again keep all the other settings same. Filter and Stylize Oil Paint. There's nothing you can do beyond that. You can just apply just those settings, and what you see is a much sparser design. Even with levels, you can't really get much out of it. So you just push it up. See, it's okay. It's a nice sort of tangled design, but it's not very filled. You can got lots of black in between. What you can also do is actions. Actions are great because you can apply it multiple times. So you can just come back to it later, reapply it. So Window, Actions, create a new action, record it, and then go to, again, mezzotint, apply that multiple times, so 5, 10, 15 times, up to you. Right, once you've decided you've done enough mezzotints, right, you can see now the document's fairly filled with these lines. So pixelate and crystallize, click OK. Filter again and filter gallery, click OK. And filter and stylize and oil paint. Now this is even more tangled. You can see a real tangled design there being produced. And again, you can apply multiple oil paints. So 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Image, adjustments and levels. Push those to the left. And you can see your lovely swirly design. Now you can also go back to oil paint if you want as well, to add some more oil paint, or maybe add some colour, etc. Up to you at this point. But there's the action. And I'm just going to save that. I know it shouldn't go off the edge, but I'm just going to save that one. Just add a little history. Don't have to do it. Obviously use the history panel. But in this case, I'm actually going to use that sort of side bit. So just basically with that clicked there, basically when you go to the edit menu, once you've applied, obviously, you can actually just go back to that original one. So you just go back there. You can see, you just click there. You can see it's different. But I'm going to use the edit and fill and use history. So I've got the history state stored, and I've got obviously a new one created via the action. So I've applied the action. So edit. Just go to the edit menu and fill. And instead of foreground, you can use history. And also you can change the blending mode at this point. You say instead of normal, you could use darken, etc. I'm just going to go for difference, just so you can show that it's very different from each time. Click OK. And then you can see the tangled design you got there. And of course, what you can do, filter oil paint to apply to that, to create even more swirly, weird sort of background designs. And again, levels, just to manipulate that further. Click OK. So combining those actual actions can create some very interesting backgrounds in themselves as well. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now filter, and again go down to Pixelate and mezzotint. Apply that again, multiple times. Then go down to Pixelate and crystallize. Basically the same steps each and every time. Now this time I'm just going to add a little bit of blur there, so I'm just going to blur them slightly. And then go click OK. Then filter and filter gallery and the stamp one again, click OK. So that design, and then filter and stylize and oil paint again. Apply it a couple of times. Going back to adjustments and levels. Okay, again you can see a very different design than before, but instead now what you can do, filter and stylize and find edges. Find edges, great one for creating a lovely sort of, that sort of edge design there. And what you do also, apply more than once, but I'm not always very good, and filter and stylize and oil paint, just to smear that sort of design. So apply it a couple of times. And again, you can go to image, adjustments and levels. Push those to the left. That one there. And you got sort of more like threshold sort of effect. See, black and white. Really great sort of swirly design that way. I'm just going to go back. And again, filter and pixelate and mezzotint. But instead I'm going to show you, you can use medium strokes as well. And that's quite a good one as well. So medium strokes, and that creates again a different result, a different background design. So apply that multiple times. Once you've got that, you can then go to crystallize, filter and pixelate and crystallize. And now you can see you've actually got a very much more intense black and white design. And again, filter gallery again. And now you can see it's virtually 50-50. Stylize oil paint. Click OK. And that's a different sort of unusual, random, swirly design again. It's got actually a little bit more 3D depth there, I think, as well. You push that over, just tweak the levels, and that's it. But you can also use, say, like threshold as well. That's a really useful one. Just go to Image, Adjustments and Threshold. Click OK. Now you can also go and apply oil paint to that and tweak that so you can make that sort of swirly and smeary as well. Now I'm just going to go for mezzotint. Now I could use, like I say, medium strokes. That's one of the other ones. There's many different options for those. So click OK. Apply it multiple times. And again, crystallize, filter menu and pixelate and crystallize. Filter gallery, click OK. Stylize and oil paint. Once you're happy with that, so you've got your oil paint design there, what you can do now is colour it. So just go down to Image, Adjustments and Hue and Saturation, Colorize. Boost up the saturation, change the hue, lightness, click OK. Also, you could, of course, go with black and white, or maybe colour lookups as well. So just go through a couple of those. Blue tone, green, red, lightness, pastel. Maybe the ones at the top. Just run through some of those as well. And they create all kinds of background designs, nice swirly background designs. Also, what you can do, you can use gradients, maybe not with that one because it gets rid of it completely, but set it to a difference, mode to difference, and apply a gradient. Do gradient. Just go and select a different gradient. Now I'm just going to go for just a two-colour gradient. So just select one of those, or three. Very simple gradient. And there you have it. A nice colourful gradient design. And again, of course, you can apply oil paint and swirl those up and maybe use levels, etc. to manipulate that further. And that's it. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe, always adding new tutorials, and also please add some comments. That'd be really great. Thank you much.